The next bit here, whether we like it or not, a lot of you will find jobs through recruitment agencies. Some people might look at them as a necessary evil. I'm quite proud to run recruitment businesses. We do a good job for our clients, and I hope that's a testament to the fact we've been around for so long, and a lot of our clients still have used us from day one to now. So there is value to be got from using recruitment businesses, but it's not often easy to work with them. And I'm sure some people in here have had negative experiences working with recruitment businesses. See some nodding, and I understand that. But I think if you went into any industry, you would have negative experiences. What you will find with this, though, is it's very close to your heart because it's a pressurised time in your life, normally when you're looking for a job. It's one of the two most stressful things, I think, is moving house and finding a new job. So you're under stress already. You're dealing with people that perhaps don't, resonate with that sort of same stress level for you. Maybe they don't have the same urgency that you do for you to find a job, although they should do, because that's where their customer base is. So always have that at the forefront of your mind. How can I work best with agencies? The first thing I'd say to anyone is be targeted. Okay? Do your research and understand who is in your market, who is going to be relevant for you to speak with. And by default, you are then relevant for them to speak with, which hopefully will mean that they get in touch with you. Okay, so be targeted. How are we going to target them? Well, the first thing I do is I type into Google the jobs that I think I'm appropriate to go for. And then the first things that will come up will be the job boards, which will then lead you to agencies, because most of the agencies are on job boards. Or, if they're well optimised, agencies will be on there that will be highly relevant for the vacancies that you're interested in. I'd suggest you get very targeted on those. Build relationships with the agencies that you're going to work with. And I'll come to this point next, actually. Spread the net, but not too thinly. There's no point just speaking to one agency. Whatever they say to you, there is no point just speaking to one agency, because they will not get all of the jobs that are out there in the area that you're interested in. So you need to be speaking to more than one agency. However, do not send your CV to 250 agencies that are on the agency register online in the hope that somebody's going to come back to you, because the chances are they won't do. You've got to make sure that you're targeted. But if you spread yourself too thinly, you will not have the opportunity to build relationships with them. So that's critical. By building relationships, it's by being attentive, being there when they need you to be there, but also chasing them up in appropriate timeframes. But don't be calling them every half day saying, has anything new come in? Has anything new come in? Has anything new come in? Because that won't help your case. So what I'd suggest is you pick out maybe the top 5 agencies through discussions you've had with them, or relationships you've had via email with them, or what you see online. Pick out the top 5 agencies, and from there get in touch with them and find out who are the best people for you to speak with within those agencies. Normally that'll be clear because their names will be on adverts, so it shouldn't be too complicated. And from there, contact them, talk to them, demonstrate your enthusiasm for finding a job, understand which companies they work with that they feel you could be suitable for, and then give them as much support as they need to be able to get your details out to those companies. If you're using a number of agencies, one of the most important things is to keep a log of the activity. Recruitment agencies will go very cold on you if they find that your CV has gone out to the same potential employer 5 or 6 times, and they're diligently following it up, and the employer's going, oh no, I've already received this CV. Because it's a waste of effort and time for recruitment agencies. So keep a log of what you've done. If somebody's calling you, if I was to call you about a vacancy, I would talk to you about the company, the name, where it's located, what the job title is. I'd talk to you about the role in detail. I'd ask you why you feel you're relevant. We'd talk about salary. We'd make sure that you can get there. If you're travelling on public transport, how long is it going to take? If you're having to relocate, what are the implications of that? How soon could you relocate? I'll be going through things in detail. I wouldn't call you and say, got a great job based on Kirksall Road. Can't say who it's with at the moment. No, we haven't got a job spec. Are you interested? Yeah, which you will get briefs like that. Okay, so you need to just go a little bit further. Well, can you tell me who it's with? Oh, it's confidential at the moment. Well, I am interested in this type of job, but I could do with knowing who it is, so I haven't already applied through somebody else. Yeah, and realistically, unless you are at the very top level, there are very few roles that are that confidential that recruitment companies can't tell you about. Okay, and if they need reassurance, you could say to them, look, I will not discuss this with anybody else, but I need to know who it is, so I know I haven't been put forward by somebody else. Yeah? Because that will be one of their concerns. Oh, you're going to talk to everyone else, you can talk to your mates about it, they're going to apply, etc., etc. Where more than one agency is working on the same role, the rule would be, firstly, if you've done this properly, so built relationships, then you know who you want to work with. If your profile's out on LinkedIn, somebody could just contact you and say, oh, hi, I'm Jonathan. Well, what's your name, sorry? Vicky, we haven't spoken before, but I've just seen your profile on LinkedIn. I've got a great job that I think will be suitable. Am I okay to send your profile over to them? All right, you haven't got a relationship with me. Another agency will call you and do what I've just said, which is go through the whole brief thoroughly. If then another agency called you that you have got a relationship with, I would say to them, I've been briefed by another agency. I don't want my application putting in twice. I'm confident that application has been done professionally because I've got a good relationship with that agency too. So no, I don't want to be put forward. Thanks very much. What I'd be tempted to say to the first agency, and I hope this isn't complicating everything too much, I'd be tempted to say to the first agency, just to let you know, I have had a call from another agency about this. I am keen to make sure my application is being dealt with professionally. Can you let me know how it's going? So where are we at? And I don't like to be too negative about recruitment businesses, but there are recruitment businesses that will claim to be working on vacancies but aren't. So we'll all have come across that. And by approaching it that way, you are finding out whether they're working on it or not. So, but it's a good question, is that? And I know you can feel as though you're in an awkward situation. What I'd say is take control of it yourself. So who am I trusting to deal with this? Do I trust they're dealing with it properly? Yes, okay, right. Thanks very much, but I've already got an application in on this role.
So what do you say to the first one, LinkedIn, if you haven't got a relationship with them and they want to put you forward for it?
I'd probably ask for a job description to start off with. So would you mind sending me a job description? Let me have a look at it. And then that gets a bit of commitment from them, doesn't it? Because at the moment they've really done nothing, have they? They've found your details on LinkedIn and they've just given you a quick call about it based on you working at Yorkshire Forward and knowing the main reception number. So send me the job spec, I'll have a look at it and I'll get back to you. Here's my email address. And then you get their details. You can then do research on their agency. So do they look like they work in your area? Do they look like they understand anything about the discipline that you're in? And so can they represent you effectively to a company? Those are things that I'd be thinking about if somebody did that to me. Good points there. So keep a log of the activity so we don't get any duplications. And so you can follow things up. A week after an agency's made an application, I think that's probably a reasonable time for you to give them a call and say, how's it going? Have we made any progress? And then keep a track of the agency performance. So who takes your calls? So who is generally interested in trying to help you, even if they haven't actually found you a job yet? Who comes back to you on applications you've made and lets you know whether they've been successful or not? Who's getting you interviews, and ultimately who gets you the offer at the end of the day? But keep a track of that because you will find some agencies talk to you about a lot of vacancies and don't get you any interviews. And I'd be questioning whether they're actually acting in your interest. You'll find some agencies that when you first register with them, they talk about 50 companies that they're going to talk to you on your behalf. All right, they're not actually going to talk to 50 companies on your behalf. They might send your CV out to half a dozen, but they won't speak to the rest of them. So you've got to make sure that you trust what they're doing. And by logging everything and by following it up and measuring what they're doing, you know whether they're being successful for you. Some people say looking for a job is a job in itself, and it pretty much is. And if you approach it that way, you will have more success.